Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Sumuna Kutoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Ford defends lifting mask mandate this month as Mississauga's mayor raises concern about timing of move. Trudeau to travel to Poland to see Ukrainian refugees and meet with officials. Former Quebec Premier Jean Charest to launch his Tory leadership campaign in Calgary. McCain Foods suspends shipment to Russia and end production facility project. World Economic Forum cuts ties with Russia. Ford may reintroduce masks in November. Toronto Pearson expecting busiest travel day since start of pandemic Thursday for March break. Raptors delay Popovich's record in win over Spurs. Tiger Woods inducted into World Golf Hall of Fame with hard work and big payoff. Those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. Premier Doug Ford is defending his government's decision to lift the mask mandate in most settings in less than 2 weeks, even as one GTA mayor questions the timing of the move. At a briefing today, Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie told reporters she thinks it's a bit too soon to lift the mask mandate in most settings as of March 21st, given that proof of vaccination requirements was only recently removed. The Ford's government's decision to lift the mask mandate comes amid a significant decline in hospitalization. Ford also noted that Ontario is simply following the lead of other provinces which have already announced plans to remove mask mandates.
They're going well, but it just feels like it's a bit too soon for me. It was only on March 10th that we eased restrictions, capacity limits. We eliminated the need to prove your vaccine certification. And I've been hearing from parents that they're worried about their kids going back to school and not having to wear masks. So usually in the past, when we move from one stage or one phase to another, or we loosened restrictions, we gave a little more time in between, 2 to 4 weeks, to see what the impact would be on case counts, on hospitalization rates, on ICU rates. So I just feel it's a little soon, given that we just eased restrictions.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will come face-to-face with Europe's refugee crisis today after arriving in Poland, where most of the estimated 2 million Ukrainians have fled the Russian war on their country. Trudeau is planning to visit a temporary shelter for refugees as part of his day in Warsaw, Poland. He is also to meet with country's prime minister and president as the Russian invasion of Ukraine continues. Trudeau also announced Wednesday that Canada would send another $50 million in specialized equipment, including Canadian-made cameras for surveillance drones to help Ukraine defend itself against the Russian invasion.
Vladimir Poutine comptait sur le fait que dans les démocraties, on a
Former Quebec Premier Jean Charest will formally launch his campaign for the Conservative Leadership campaign in Calgary today, telling party members that he can win an election. Winning is something Conservatives want to see after 3 back-to-back losses to Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, whose minority of seats in the House of Commons means an election could be triggered at any point. After his launch today, Charest is to appear at a meet and greet Friday morning before traveling to Vancouver. McCain Food is ending a project to build a production facility in Russia and suspending shipments of its product to the country because of the country's invasion of Ukraine. The Canadian company says it stopped construction at the Russian production facility in Tula Oblast region on February 24th and has now made the decision to discontinue the project entirely. The decision by the French fry maker came as countries around the world stop work in Russia or with Russian companies because of the invasion and global economic sanctions. We are not engaging in any sanctioned individual and have frozen all relations with Russian entities, spokesperson Amanda Russo said this week. The cutting of ties come after Russia's invasion of Ukraine and comes as several global superpowers put crippling sanctions on Russia's economy and banking sector, as well as Russian politicians and Putin himself. WEF chairman and founder Klaus Schwab goes back decades, dating back at least the early 1990s. The Ontario Ministry of Health and the Office of Doug Ford are already preparing for masks to return sometime in fall around November. To be blunt, masks are not going away. We are just in the temporary situation for summer months until seasonal infection rise again, said the source to elect Conservatives. Right now, it's smart we lift these restrictions because it's a great vote winner, but when winter rolls around, we are kind of gonna be back to the square one, he continued. Premier Doug Ford is seeking to remain in power in the coming June 2022 election. Airport officials in Toronto say they're expecting today to be the busiest travel day since the start of pandemic as throngs of COVID-19 weary Canadians get out of the town for March break. The Greater Toronto Airport Authority said this week they're expecting some 85,000 passengers to pass through Pearson today. The federal government recently dropped a requirement for fully vaccinated travelers entering Canada to have a PCR test before arrival, although those entering the country must still show proof of a negative rapid antigen test administered by a health worker up to 24 hours before their flight. Fred VanVleet had 26 points and the Toronto Raptors beat the San Antonio Spurs 119-104 on Wednesday night, delaying Greg Popovich's coronation as the winningest coach in NBA history. Popovich is tied with his friend and mentor Don Nelson with 1,335 regular season victories. The greatest of his generation, Tiger Woods took his place among the best of all time Wednesday night when he was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame and shared a life story of a passion to play and a work ethic that made him feel like he earned it. Wood did not touch any of his 82 victories on the PGA Tour of his 15 majors or the 8 surgeries he endured along the way.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cutoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.